Perfect. Good morning, positive thinkers and guests. Thank you so much for joining us for our January 2021 Positive Thinkers meeting. We're so happy to have you all here with us today to take in some positive vibes from our guest speaker, Cortney Barber, who is joining us all the way from BC. And we have Alick Tsui, who's going to be doing affirmations for us as well. And Alick has been with our group for many years before I started. And we're also going to share some information about our group. And we'll get started with our formalities today. So a little bit about the Positive Thinkers. For those of you who are not familiar, our group was formed 32 years ago. And Dave Radosky, who is on with us today, and John Snow, they attended a seminar in 1988. Brian Tracy, who is a motivational speaker, had just come to visit and put off his seminar for human relations. And from there, Dave and John, the following year, had decided, hey, we're going to start something here in Newfoundland and bring a positive vibe each month. What they decided to do was have a guest speaker, affirmations, most importantly, because they wanted to teach people about affirmations and positive affirmations. And we've been on the go since then. So 32 years this February, we will be celebrating 32 years, which is a great milestone. So congratulations to the guys for putting that together and keeping it flowing. So 32 years into that. And now last year we had to kind of scale back into the online format, which was totally different for us. And we're hoping that in February we can get back to a physical setting. But it's amazing because the online environment, we can actually connect with people in so many different ways, like outside of our province. And that's so important too, because people need to know about this and people can start this in their own province too. So we have a board formed. I'll just name the people here who are here with us today. We have Alick Tsui, who is our past president and also director of nominations right now. We have Sheldon Crocker, who is director of PR, and he takes care of our social media. We have Dave Radosky, who is founder of our club, who's joining us from his countryside out in, oh my gosh, totally got it. Bristol's Hope. Is it Bristol's Hope? I'm sorry, Brigus Junction. There we go. Brigus Junction. And we have myself. I am currently the president of the Positive Thinkers, and I'm very grateful to be here today. So we are going to go ahead and get started with our affirmations. So I'll ask Alick if he could unmute himself. And like I said, if you are comfortable with unmuting and your video popping up as we share affirmations, you're more than welcome, or you can stay muted. It's totally whatever you're comfortable with. So thank you, Alick, for volunteering today.
Hi, how is everyone? I trust every one of you is doing well and coping in your own way well during the pandemic. I can't believe it's almost a year since COVID affects Newfoundland. Aren't we all grateful to be in Newfoundland? I mean, our province has done so well compared to the rest of Canada. Well, because we followed the rules well. I followed the rules well. The mask, social distancing, and hand washing. I just want to share some of my experience with dealing with COVID these days. I wear my mask whenever I go out. I still go out a lot. I actually go to the trails and watch the oceans. Recently, the waves are fantastic, but make sure you have to wear proper foot gear. First day after snowfall is great for snowshoeing. And 2 days after, you have to get something called crampons or cramp-ons. You can get it from the store or you can get it from Amazon, and they are great for hiking on icy surfaces. And keep your hiking poles to get your balance, because this way you will feel safe and still enjoy nature without worrying about social distancing or coughing by other people, because outdoors it's always good. And Newfoundland is so beautiful. And talk about entertainment. I still go out and have entertainment. I mean, I went to Arts and Culture Center and went to the rooms on the stages so the singers will not spill the aerosol generated out by their voices, their projections. And the seats, the rows in front are empty, the rows behind are empty, and 3 seats to the right and 3 seats to the left are all emptied. So you feel safe and you're not allowed to walk around. And the rooms, when you go to an event, you are seated, they have tags on the seats so you know exactly where you're sitting. So you won't be fighting for your seats. And the performances are usually an hour and there will be no time for people to mingle around. I feel safe and enjoy all the things happening in the province. Even the local breweries, they have specific bookings and the tables are far apart. So I enjoy a few songs, listening to the music and enjoy a craft beer. So you can still enjoy entertainment. Just make sure you wear your mask and don't mingle with people that you don't know. You stay in your seat. Now, after that, you know, what do? I watch some TVs, you know, there's some nice shows. I watched the Hudson and Rex. It actually filmed in Kitaviti, so I could see my neighborhood on TV. It was amazing. It makes you feel good when you see something you know, and make sure you listen to the CBC updates, or not on CBC, the provincial updates on YouTube. If you missed the guidelines or update on COVID, anytime. So I find, you know, you can always find things to do or connect someone, call someone you haven't seen for a while and you're bored. So you always get things to do. Now back to affirmations. Why do we need affirmations? Because our thoughts are important. When you do affirmation, you are using some strong phrases to change your mindset so you can do things and change the outlook that you're going to do in the future. Like what I do now is some short phrases that you can repeat after me. These phrases will trigger our thoughts to the brain and reprogram our mindset. We all know COVID is a negative event, but we have to accept the reality. So we use affirmation to help us to respond and react in our own interpretations in a more positive way. Remember, you should not be stressed over things you cannot control. You should believe in your ability and intelligence to get through these tough situations. You know you're not alone during COVID. It's okay to experience strong emotions. Now, let's get on some affirmations. I want you to repeat after me with a forceful voice. If you like it, you can do it every day before your routine. Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
I use the word COVID, okay? The letter C. I use the letter C first. I. Repeat after me. I am.
I
am.
I am calm.
I am calm.
I am calm and comfortable.
I am
calm and comfortable.
Good. That's only a trial. Try to do it more forcefully. I'm going to the letter O now. I am. I am outstanding. I am outstanding and optimistic.
I am outstanding and optimistic.
I am. I am valuable.
I am valuable.
I am valuable and valiant.
I am valuable and valiant.
Now we come to the last letter I. I am. I am invincible.
I am invincible.
I am invincible and intelligent.
I am invincible and intelligent.
And now the letter D. Sorry, letter D is the last one. I am.
I am.
And
I am desirable.
I am
desirable.
desirable.
I am desirable and dynamic.
I am desirable and dynamic.
Thank you. Have a good
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks,
you
Alick.
so much. Awesome job, Alick. I love it. I love it when you do affirmations because you always get that sense of like just really getting it out there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you volunteering today. Awesome. That kind of sets the tone now for a guest speaker. So today we have with us Cortney Barber, who's joining us all the way from Sherwood, BC. She is originally from Avondale, Newfoundland, and Cortney has been highlighting and doing some amazing things in Newfoundland from a distance with a group that she formed, Neighborhoods in Need. And she kind of started this back when we had experienced Snowmageddon, and that transitioned into her supporting so many Newfoundlanders with her group. It has grown. I checked this morning. I think it's up to 13,000 people, which is absolutely amazing. She is a mother of 4 and doing amazing things for a province. It really sets the tone for what you can do from a distance. So thank you so much, Cortney, for being here with us today. And I will let you take it over.
Thank you so much, Katie. Thank you guys so much for having me, Sheldon. You're absolutely amazing, and I'm so grateful to be here. Sorry about the lighting. My dining room is red, so without this light, I look really red. So I'm sorry if I'm really bright to you guys. I've never spoken for this long before. I'm in an industry in network marketing where I'm used to compacting my story into 2 to 5 minutes. So this is going to be a new experience for me. So bear with me and my notes. Again, I'm really grateful to be here. My name is Cortney Barber. I'm 34 years old. As Katie said, I'm originally from Avondale. I'm now currently living in the Kootenay Valley Mountains of Sherwood, British Columbia. I do have 4 kids, ages 5, 10, 13, and 14. They keep me on my toes. I grew up in St. John's, Newfoundland. And I didn't really have an amazing time, especially during my teens. I came from a really good family. My parents worked out in Hibernia, but that was the issue. They worked a lot. So I was on my own a lot from age 12 to 17. I really didn't have much parental guidance. I was kind of left to be on the streets in St. John's, and that's exactly where I was. When I was 5 years old, I was sexually abused. And my mom didn't take that very well. So she tried to hide it and do different things like that. And it was really damaging as a child. And then from that age onwards, I was kind of left to my own. So again, I didn't have much guidance or anything like that. I had a financially stable home, but not an emotionally stable home. By the time I was about 12 years old, I started to get in trouble with the police. And I spent a fair amount of time in the Newfoundland and Labrador Youth Center and group homes between the ages of 12 and 17. That's when I got involved in the Youth Are Working program in St. John's, Newfoundland with Waypoints and Hugo McCarthy. And I did like a career building program, which really helped me find my footing of where I needed to be in my life. And it got me on the foot of public speaking because I started speaking on behalf of like the Child Youth Network, Child Advocacy, Choices for Youth, who I lived under at that time, and then the Youth Are Working program. By the time I was 19 years old, I got pregnant on my oldest child. And that's when I really took a turn for the better in my life. And, I got away from the life of drugs and criminal activity and stuff like that. So luckily, by the time I was an adult, I had all that out of my system and a good foot in the ground. Me and my ex-husband, we moved to Alberta, where my parents were now living and working. So that was back in 2005. We moved up here 6 months pregnant on our first. And just before I turned 20, I had my first child. By the time I was 21, I had 2 children. By the time I turned 24, I had had my third. At this point, my ex-husband, we'd been together since we were 18 years old, but it was very apparent that he had some mental health issues that were really coming out. He was then diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar. So that road with him was really difficult. He worked in Fort McMurray at the time. He turned to drugs in Fort McMurray. And by 24, I was leaving my ex-husband with 3 kids on my own. And I moved into a 28-foot RV out of a big, beautiful home and just left it all behind so that I could get a new life for me and my kids. This led me to a decline in my mental health. I was now living in an RV in a campground with 3 kids. I had lost pretty much everything that I owned, and it just kept going down from there. Things just kept happening. I got into an accident. I lost my vehicle. Just things kept happening after that. It was in this campground that I met my current husband, Darren. And so things did start to go up from there. We took over a business, and financially and things like that, things started to get a lot better. Then I got pregnant on my 4th child, Miss Isabella. She's 5 years old right now. And I got airlifted at about 12 weeks pregnant to the high risk unit of the Royal Alex Hospital in Edmonton, where I spent the next 20 weeks of my pregnancy in a hospital bed. So again, that was a really big blow to our family, but definitely to my mental health. I had my current boyfriend taking care of my 3 kids while I was pregnant with ours in the hospital, and it just put a lot of strain. We had to move from central Alberta to Edmonton because that's where I was hospitalized. So it definitely put a lot more onto my mental health. And after I came out of the hospital, whether it be like postpartum depression or just like, all the buildup of bad things that were happening to me in my life, my mental health just went downwards. I'm just going to step back for a second, because after I had my first child, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism. And as throughout the years that it's gone by, it's advanced to Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So when you have thyroid disease, it really affects a lot of parts of your body, especially like, depression, aches, and like, your joints get inflamed. You have anxiety, different things like that come with it. So dealing with these health challenges and everything else kind of on top of it, by the time that my youngest daughter was 2 years old, I was in such a deep depression that I wasn't getting out of bed in the day. I would let Darren get up with the kids because it was much better for my children to get out the door to go to school with him than it was to a mom who was just so irritable and miserable that I would be like, yelling and losing my mind because somebody couldn't find something to put in their book bag or whatnot. And I always felt that it was much better for my children to go out the door on a positive note than it was to have that monster mom in their face. In January of 2019, so 2 years ago, I was at the lowest of the lows. We were behind on rent. Neither one of us could find work. We had moved into a smaller place, so we had put all of our belongings into a storage unit, and we were behind on the storage unit because we couldn't even pay our own rent. We didn't really have a lot of food in our fridge. We were struggling, going to the food bank, just doing what we could. Me and Darren weren't eating a lot so that we could feed our children, and it was just, I was just in such a negative place that I checked out. I was in a, like, screw my life kind of mode where, everything bad was happening to me. Why me? Poor me. I'm never going to get out of this. This is how my life is going to be. And it was just a really, really, really negative place. It got so bad that in February of 2019, I tried to take my life. I tried to crash my car into a tree. In the middle of the night, I left in my car and I didn't know what else to do. I just went for a drive. And then the next thing I know, I'm going flat out towards a tree. I stopped myself and I pulled over and I phoned the police on myself. So this was a big, huge wake up call as to how deep and low that I was in my depression. And I knew I had to do something. I just had to, because I had 4 kids who were dependent on me. I had Darren, who had every bit of weight on his shoulders, and his mental health was declining too because of it. So I had to do something. The first step for me towards a positive life was a product that my aunt had been taking for many years that I decided that I should try out. And I did. It's all natural vitamins. And so it really closed those nutritional gaps for me and gave me what I needed to become a better me. In that, I started, I joined their company and I started with them as a business. And I tell you, this company is just amazing, positive people. And when I came in there, they just saw me as this broken person, and they just linked arms with me and they just started running. And being surrounded every single day with these influential women, these powerhouses of people, it just brought me out of my shell day by day. And then it was just crazy. I started earning crazy bonuses with them. I filled my fridge. I paid off of my my storage unit, and things just started going up from there. I started winning tickets to go see, like, for personal development, and I got to go see Rachel Hollis and Tony Robbins, and just fill my bucket with so many golden nuggets of like hope and positivity. It was just absolutely amazing. And that's when I started my gratitude journey. In May of 2019 is when I was given my first gratitude journal. And that's when I really learned the power behind having a positive mind and what it can do for your life. And through one of those personal development seminars that I attended. So at this point, I've suffered with depression. I've had severe, severe anxiety, on medications, things like that for anxiety. And I learned something in one of these seminars, was that it is physically impossible for our brain to feel anger or grief, anxiety, anguish, those negative feelings at the same time that we feel gratitude. It's physically impossible. Your brain just cannot do it. And so when I understood that tool and I learned it, what I would start to do is, when I would have anxiety, I would, because I just would never be able to think deep, right? You can't, think about the gratitude of your children and of these big major things in your life when you're dealing with anxiety, especially the midst of an anxiety attack. So knowing that I could switch that off in my brain by thinking gratitude, I would look around. I'm so grateful for the smoke detector in case we have a fire. I'm so grateful I have a fridge to keep my food cold. I would think of the small things and the anxiety would just go away. And so learning the fact that you have power over your mind, to change your mindset and to change, your outlook on things, and those feelings of anxiety that overtake your life, they sit on your chest. You can't breathe when you have anxiety. And to know that you can switch that off with the power of a thought is just an amazing, powerful tool that you have. So that's one thing that really, really got me started. So now, yes, attitude of gratitude, definitely. Now I have a big team within this company. It's we all feel amazing because we're filling our body with premium nutrients. We're just a powerhouse of people, and we actually join together on a Zoom like this every single morning at 7:30 in the morning. We all show up. We challenged each other back when there was 90 days left to 2020. We challenged each other to show up in the morning, to do our working Zoom, to go through our daily actions of what we do to keep our businesses going. Now we start each and every one of these Zooms with our affirmations, just like Alick did. And then we list 3 to 5 things that we're grateful for. We set our goals for the day, and then we get into those daily actions. But that's how we start our day every single day. Now, you guys know that I have 4 kids. I get on at 7:30 in the morning. It's 11 in Newfoundland. That's where most of my team is. So I'm on that Zoom in the morning, getting my kids ready for school. But the most amazing part of it is that my kids get on this Zoom. Isabella, she sits up in my lap and eats her breakfast. I do her hair every morning on this Zoom. She always gets on. We unmute. She gives her affirmations. She sets her gratitude, and she sets her goal for the day, which is usually not to pee in her pants in kindergarten. But that is like my 10-year-old does the exact same thing. And just to see the power of what starting their day does for them by those daily actions it's unreal to see over the last 4 months how my kids have evolved and how they're setting goals and they're excited to achieve them. So I think that's really important. And when we teach our children that they have these tools at a young age, my kids that are always there are 5 and 10 years old, it's really powerful. I'm also really involved in a manifestation group. It's called the Infinite Mist Manifestors. And we do the same thing. We meet weekly. We manifest things. We have different tools for manifesting. And I'll tell you guys a little bit about those tools for manifesting, because I think that when we manifest what we want, when we manifest what we believe in and what we want to bring to us, and we say it over and over again, it's just like the affirmations. We rewire our brain. And when you claim those things, you are setting your brain up to achieve them. So the different ways that we manifest, and me especially, is I light manifestation candles. So they're little birthday size candles. Write in it what you want. You set a really good, clear intention for what that is. And then you light that candle on fire, and you let it burn. Also, I do a thing called either 22 and 2 or 33 and 3. And that's when you write out what you want, but you write it as if you already have it, and you write it 33 times for 3 days in a row, or 22 times for 2 days in a row. So I do that quite often, probably about 2 times a week. And I will tell you guys that there is not a thing that I have put into my intentions that has not come to fruition for me. 3 months ago, I lived in Red Deer, Alberta. I lived in an apartment with my kids. This is, just after me starting my business and getting things running. I'm only now to the point where I'm making like a good residual income and could really get ahead. For the last year or so, I've been able to fill my fridge. I've been able to, have things like that. But it's only been for the last probably 6 or 7 months that I've really gotten ahead, and I've been able to move into my dream house here in Sparwood. This is Darren's hometown. So, those are things that I manifested, I worked on, and goals that I achieved, but it wasn't without taking that, like having that planning and those daily actions that definitely got me here, changing that mindset and, just putting out those intentions to be able to get what I want or get what I need. So yeah, sorry, I'm just going to take a second here. I'm going to drink my water. I think like a part of that mindset definitely is goals. And breaking down those goals into, just breaking them down and time slotting them. So for example, my water, I started my 90-day goals, and my goal was to drink the appropriate amount of water every single day. And that is half of your body weight in ounces. So that's a lot for me because I'm a big girl. Anyway, so I have this bottle. This is only one of two. And so if you can see, during the different times of the day, it's broken down and it gives you a little motivation to keep going. So this is a prime example of how to break down your goals. I have a goal to drink this much water. It's broken down in the day in time slots for how much I should be drinking for each time. So if you do that with any one of your goals that you have, it makes it a lot easier to achieve. I wanted to touch base on the group and to kind of tell you guys what I do in terms of that. That is definitely my volunteer work. Back during the snowstorm, I was sitting in Red Deer, Alberta, and guys, my mom lives in Avondale. All of my friends and family live in Newfoundland. At this point, I had my team in my business, and so a lot of them are Newfoundlanders as well. So when the storm happened, I was sitting up here, and I had friends of mine who were moms, and they were just without formula. They were without diapers. There was seniors who were blocked in their house, and they had no home care, couldn't get into them because they couldn't even leave their own houses. It was pretty crazy. People were unable to access things like home care and stuff, which was big and huge. And I had a huge network within my business, and I just hit the create group button because I thought that I had enough people on my Facebook that I could connect some people that might have had formula sitting in their cupboard that were within walking distance to somebody who had a baby who didn't have milk. A big part of it was that, and being a mom, we, and especially Newfoundlanders, we rely on our child tax. And that storm happened 2 days before child tax. So everything was closed down. So these moms were like the whole month waiting for that next child tax day to go and fill up on diapers and fill up on groceries and things like that. And now all of a sudden they had the money sitting in their bank account, but they could not get anywhere to do anything. So I created the group. I shared it just amongst my Facebook friends. We went to 5,000 members in the first 18 hours. And within 48 hours, we had a rescue crew of about 30 people going around digging out people. We rescued a lady named Mrs. Murphy. She was 93 years old. She was completely barricaded in her house. We started, it just started a movement that was unlike anything else. And it definitely wasn't what I intended when I hit that button. But the momentum and the amount of support and kindness and love in this group has just made us continue. Sorry. We started about in February or March of last year, we started a program called Leftovers with Love. We received a large cash donation for our group, and it was to help out with grocery orders for people who needed groceries. Now, it was a $250 donation, and we had 18 people that were on our list that were in dire need of groceries. There's no way that $250 was going to buy groceries for all those 18 people. So what we decided to do was we went to Costco, and we got large portions of meat and different things. And I called on another friend of mine who has 4 children, and we just made a big, huge meal. We got together a bunch of delivery drivers, and we delivered those meals to those people in need. And that has continued on. And to this day, we are delivering about 100 to 150 meals per week to our most vulnerable members of the city. I know that I'm gone over time, even though I didn't think that I would. I will pass it back to Katie, and then if anyone has any questions or anything like that, that would be great.
Amazing, amazing story. Thank you so much, Courtney, for sharing with us today. Just your story and the connection with what you went through and how you transcribed into helping others and developing yourself through your business is absolutely inspiring. And I appreciate you being here with us today. I would love to open it up now. If anybody has any questions or comments or would like to say something, that would be awesome. If you'd like to unmute yourself.
Oh, hi, Courtney. David Husky here. Not so much question, but more. I'm going to turn my volume down a second. But more congratulations on what you've managed to achieve in such a short time. It's unbelievable that you've managed to turn around your life in that, as I say, such short time. So congratulations to you.
Thank you, David.
Okay, anybody else have any questions or comments?
I don't have questions, Courtney. I just really wanted to reiterate what Dave said. Wow, just very, very powerful and inspiring. I know some people that will love to hear the replay. Well, they may not love to hear it initially, but I think they're ready to hear what your story, because it will help them.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's very motivating and inspiring.
Beautiful. Okay, anybody else like to say anything?
Hello, everybody. Courtney, thank you so much. I knew I made a good choice when I asked you if you would like to be a part of our show. And I really appreciate what you had to share. There was much more to your story than what I actually even knew. So I'm just grateful that you felt comfortable enough to share. And it's helped me have a positive even more of a positive outlook to go on with the rest of my day. You know that there's always a way to overcome. There's always a way to work your way up from the bottom to the top, or actually working towards the top. So you keep doing what you're doing, and that Neighbors in Need group is really helping people. And it's not, it might be a Neighbors in Need group, but it's actually something, it's a group that is actually wanted, and it's a group that is actually needed and wanted. So thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Sheldon. You've been a big inspiration to me as well. It's just been amazing to partner with you on all these little projects. It's been so good and so positive. I just absolutely love it. You guys are an amazing group. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So before I kind of let everybody go, we are heading into February, where we feel that we're kind of in a position now to slowly go back to a physical setting. I know we kind of have to monitor how things are in our community. There's some things that have been popping up with cases, but just to kind of put that out there for the agenda. So February 27th, our intention is to have our AGM and a little get together at the Lantern on February 27th, Saturday. We're going to work out the details, and just want to kind of put it out there for people to mark their calendars. We will have to obviously make, follow the rules and wear masks, and it's going to be a little bit different for us going back, but there's going to be a time where we're going to have to go back. And I think, for the most part, I will miss the online format because we've connected with people outside of our province this past year, and it's been amazing. I don't know if we'd ever have an opportunity for Courtney to speak. We didn't have this online format. So unless she came to Newfoundland and joined us, which would be awesome. So when you visit Courtney, make sure you pop in and see us. We would love to see you. And just keep tuned for our newsletter. So we send out a newsletter every month with information about our club and our guest speaker. So we're going to continue the newsletter in the online format. We are also going to be releasing the information early February for our meeting. And please be sure to follow us on Facebook. Follow Courtney's Facebook group as well if you're looking to want to help out in any way. There's always people needing things, and that's a great way to kind of help out in our community. And that's it. If anybody has anything they would like to share, I kind of want to keep that open for a moment if you'd like, if there's anything at all. The get together in February. So right now we're still keeping the time from 9 o'clock to 11. Yeah, and so our focus is going to be the AGM in particular because that kind of got delayed last year. We're going to refrain from food just because it's so much to manage at this moment, and we kind of want to get used to what's happening. But we will have a guest speaker and someone do affirmations for sure. If anything changes in the event that we have to cancel, we'll notify people as well. So we're going to work out some registration details too. I think it's important that we kind of have an ability to do something where we're not handling cash. So that could be an option for e-transfer if you're planning on registering. So we're going to work that out and communicate in time for our group for sure.
Can I just add something, Katie?
Sure, yeah.
I did prepare a quick little manifestation kind of activity in case I went under time. So if anybody's interested in that, you guys can just private message me and I can send that to you privately. It's just a little 90-second manifestation tool that can show you just how to manifest on those first starting stepping stones. So if anybody's interested in that, please message me and I'll happily share that with you.
Sure. Actually, would you mind sharing it with our, like, you can share it with me and I can share it with our newsletter if that's something.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. That would be a great thing to put in our newsletter, and probably on our Facebook too would be a nice thing too. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. And also, yes, $10 will be the fee for a physical meeting. And that's just to cover the venue and cost. So we're kind of keeping it at a low cost for that. And we will be accepting renewals at that time. So it's a lot to manage for our first meeting back. But there's always options for e-transfer too. So we're able and willing to accept e-transfers, which is awesome. It helps out in so many ways. Dave, did you want to say something?
I think you may have covered it, but just to point out that we're not having a meal at that meeting.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit to manage at the first, but you know, March and April, we're going to work out details for sure. The Bella Vista wasn't available for the date, so they got a full function on the go that weekend. So we're going to test out the lantern, see how that works out. And we're limited with our capacity too with the pandemic. So, okay. All right, I will leave it open. Any questions, a couple seconds, and then if not, I will adjourn our meeting for today.
Yeah, it's great to see everybody, and hopefully we will see you next month to our online, open, in-person meeting, the AGM. So hopefully we'll see everybody. Take care.
Thank you, Sheldon. Okay, well, we will adjourn our meeting for today. Appreciate everybody who participated and our guests who joined us, and Alick and Courtney for volunteering today. Appreciate it so much. Have a great Saturday, and we'll see you in February. Take care.